Hey, parents, athletes, and coaches. I am here with my son, Dan. I'm Bill Parisi at the Parisi Speed School here in Fair Lawn, New Jersey. Today, we're going to talk about strengthening the glutes and really, more importantly, activating the glutes first, because the glutes are a muscle that tend to shut off or not fire as much as they really should or could. A lot of older people, as you're sitting a lot during the day, they get what they call glute amnesia, where your glutes aren't activating and you kind of lose your butt. You know, those muscles just atrophy away. As athletes, we got to make sure the glutes are firing. Even as adults, we got to make sure the glutes are firing, because poor glute firing leads to back pain or hamstring injuries or back injuries. So we got to fire the glutes. One of the best ways to fire the glutes is the clamshell. So exercise is very similar to what it sounds like, a clamshell. So Dan's going to lay down on his side. And what he's going to position his legs so they're straight here with the body, so it's a little bit of a stretch, right, a little bit of an angle. His knees are bent, his heels are about 6 to 8 inches away from his butt. What he's going to do is going to put his thumb right on that hip point. That's the front of the hip. It's called the ASIS, anterior superior iliac spine. You don't have to worry about that right now. It's just that front part of your hip, that point. And his fingers are going to be on his glute, his butt muscle. And what he wants to do is imagine his ankles are tied with a rope, can't separate his ankles, and he's going to open up his knees, he's going to clamshell, open the knees as high as he can and down. Now, a couple points as Dan does his reps. One, you really want to think about firing the glutes. That's really, really important. Number two, you want to make sure the hips, and if Justin comes around, if the hips are stable, they're not going to rotate. So Dan, do it the wrong way, where you're kind of let the hips, you see how his hips are coming out and he's thinking he's doing a better job, but he's getting greater range of motion. We don't want to do that. We want to make believe the hips are stabilized as if there's a rod coming right down the sky through his hips, where he can't get this rotation back and forth with the hips. They're locked in. So he locks the hips in. He uses his hand to lock his hips in and give a little pressure so they don't come back. We want to make sure they're here and it stays stable, and he's just working the glute medius, which is right here. And also a little bit of glute max here. But these muscles, the glute muscles, you have your glute medius, your maximus, and your minimus. These muscles really need to fire. Awesome. Now, if you want to add a little more resistance, you can get this mini band. These mini bands are great. They're sold by Perform Better. They're really inexpensive. They're like 50 cents or something. But you put this right around his thighs, and you can do a resisted clamshell. So it's a great movement. You can see how Dan's getting set up. Locks his hips into place, bring the knee back a little bit. There you go. Knees are bent. And same exercise. Hand on the front hip bone right there. There you go. And now it's tougher. This is a great exercise to get the glutes going. You want to do both sides. You want to do 8 to 12 reps. Obviously, the resistance is going to create a little bit higher intensity, but this is a great movement. Awesome job, Dan. You can take that off. Now, one thing I want to say to close. This is a movement you'll see guys do before games. Steph Curry actually does this type of movement standing. He does kind of what they call the Elvis, where he's standing and he has the band on and he's resisting, doing the external rotation here. Lots of ways to do this. You can do that as well. But remember, when you warm up the glutes, you're going to be more powerful, because this is your engine. Take this information, put it in your pregame, put it in your warm-up. You're going to take yourself to a whole nother level.